What is up, family? Welcome back to the Live Laugh Lopez podcast, where we talk about all things marriage, ministry, parenthood, and so much more. It's your boy Jose and my beautiful wife. You gotta match my energy, babe. You gotta match my energy. Come on. We here yet again on a Sunday after church. This, for y'all to know, this is my after church nap time.
Yeah,
but
he's been going. He just got home. He's been going all day until like 3 o'clock, and he has a 2-hour window to record this, and then he's off.
And then off to play some golf with Josiah. Oh. But listen, it is what it is. We do what we can for the people. How was your week, babe?
Well, it was the best week of my life.
I heard it was a big week for you.
Something really special happened this week.
What happened this week?
Taylor
Swift
and Travis Kelce got engaged.
Burr, burr, burr.
It is like seeing your best friend
who you don't know at all.
When I found this news out, I was at my friend Jenny's house, her mom's house.
Yeah.
And when we got the news, we literally were like, we jumped up and down.
Yeah.
We like spun in a circle and we hugged each other. It was literally as if we found out.
Magical.
Truly, a best friend has.
How deep are you into the Moriarty like puzzle discovering and all the Easter egg stuff?
I'm just happy. I haven't.
Is she or is she not doing the Super Bowl?
She better be. But let's stop because I don't want the hate mail.
Oh Lord.
People be trying to send my way.
Yes, you can email us at wedon'tcare@gmail.com. It's like, oh gosh. Oh Lord. We're already getting in trouble. Anyways, in light of everything going on, there's other big news, and that is that you wrote a blog this week.
Yes,
it's been a minute.
I think it's been like a month or two, to be honest.
But as usual, it is an absolute, what do you call that? It's an absolute harvest of gold being offered unto the people, And so we thought today would be really cool to kind of piggyback off your blog. So for those of you who are looking for a really good blog to read to kind of supplement what we're going to talk about, or you can use this to supplement the blog. Oh, yeah. We're going to elaborate more.
No matter what, read the blog.
Read the blog. Support my girl at the unfilteredpastorswife.com. Right? Is it?
No, it's on Substack. But
the
point is,
same thing.
You can find me. I'll link it.
We might have to make it a domain name. Anyways, you wrote a blog this week of the do's and don'ts. What is it again? I know it's do's and don'ts of getting married. But the title was Before You Get Married, Read This. I know what I'm talking about. Listen, it's my after church nap time. Before you get married, read this. So we thought, why not do a before you get married, watch this.
Aren't readers, even though I do narrate it, so you could listen to it like a podcast.
Yeah. So to summarize again, we talk about things to do and not do before you get married.
Yes. And so we're going to start off with some of the don'ts. So I would say that this podcast is geared at anybody who just isn't married yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could still glean some knowledge from this if you're married, but I wanted to share hey, as a girl talking to her girlies or to her boys that are friends, this is the insight that I would say to help you avoid heartache and to walk into a marriage that can be full of fruit, joy, life, and fun.
Can I pause real quick and ask you just to kind of, what would you say to the people who say, well, you guys have been together for a really long time. You don't know what it's like to be single.
I addressed that in my blog. So that's actually one of the points that we're going to talk about in here.
Cool.
So
we won't jump ahead, but we will address you people.
Yeah. And we love those people. Honestly, the summation of that point is simply, I have a lot of friends that aren't married and that are single, and I respect the heck out of them, particularly the friends who don't have to be single, but they actually choose to be because they don't want to settle for less than God's best, which is one of the points.
Which
so
is good. So we won't elaborate, but
I did get approval. I will say I did get the thumbs up
from
several of
all the single ladies,
of my really good single.
Yeah, no, that's
that
cool.
I respect.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're coming at it from the perspective of like, hey,
Because
we've been married for 15 years, and we've learned.
16.
No,
It's 16 years this summer, Jose.
I'm finally off. Wow,
Yeah.
16 years. And we're just coming at it from the perspective of like, hey, here's what we've learned in our marriage.
Also, this is also coming from years, I would say, like
of counseling people.
16 years of like talking to people,
Yeah,
learning, counseling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the first point that I wrote about is a don't. So we're gonna go through the don'ts first.
Let's do that.
We're going to go through the do's. So the first don't I have, which you've heard us say about on this podcast before in previous seasons, was don't marry someone based on potential.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say don't marry someone based on potential, what I mean by that is that sometimes we get caught up in this frenzy of love that we look at someone and if you're an optimist like I am, I'm an eternal optimist, sometimes to my detriment.
An eternal romantic as well.
Yeah, but I'll look at someone and I always see the best in them and what they could be. And I'm like, but this person, not even just relationally, but even in friendships.
Yeah.
There's so much potential to be this. Like, you know what I mean? But the problem is that if I go into a marriage relationship solely based on what a person could be, but they haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
That could put me in a really bad spot. Would you agree? What are your thoughts?
No, I agree with you. I think too many people, because there's that saying, a lot of people like to quote, right? Love is blind. You are so blinded by infatuation a lot of times, and by your hope of what could be, that you are blind to what is or what is not.
Yes.
Right. And so when we talk about potential, like there is an element of potential, and you elaborate on this, I think, on your blog, of like there's an element of potential that you see fruits in a person of things that they exhibit, characteristic traits that they exhibit, positives that they exhibit. Yeah. The problem is when you go looking for things that people don't exhibit, and you get married and make a decision based on what you hope they will exhibit.
Based on what could happen.
Yeah.
Like, you can't marry. I can't look at you and you're a person that is like a hot mess express, let's say, but there's a potential for you to be good.
Yeah.
I could be an astronaut. There's a potential for me to be anything in the world. But if I don't have the fruit of that, which we're going to talk about as one of the do's, is do look for the fruit in a person later on. The point of the matter is, like, that can be so detrimental because many of the times, how many times do people literally look at, again, my personality type is I will look for the best in people. Jose is a realist. He always brings me back down to earth because I'll like meet people and be like, oh my gosh, or I'll meet a friend or a girlfriend. I'll be like, this is like, and he'll be like, okay, proceed with caution. Here's what I say. Because I can have those rose-colored glasses because I am a very optimistic person in that way. But in this case, you want to make sure that you're using wisdom and you don't want to solely base it on what could be.
Yeah, I always tell people that when you say I do to someone, you're not saying I will, and you're not saying I do to the person you can be.
Yes.
You're saying I do to the person you are.
Right now.
And so, like, because the reality is, like, there are things that people can change in their life, but there are many things that don't.
And also, can and what you will.
Right.
You don't want to marry someone based on promises of what they can be.
Right.
That's a disaster. And
right.
I've seen it so many times.
Right.
Someone promises, well, I can do this, I can do that. But there's no fruition of that before the marriage. And so they're basing the marriage on a promise of what somebody said they could eventually be. But a lifetime is too long. Like what Jose just said. You want to look at someone when you're getting married. If Jose never changes, I hope he's going to change, and people should change and grow. But if he, like, am I marrying him as this person is right now? Or am I marrying him based on everything he could be? You know what I mean?
But let's be real, right? As much as like we both have grown, there's a lot of areas that we both have grown in. There's a lot of areas that we're still the same in. Yeah, there's some things
that drive me absolutely insane that I realize are an innate part of who my husband will always be. And we've talked about this. And there's things about me that drive him insane that he realizes this is an innate part of her personality.
Yeah.
I knew when I married him these things about him.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm just saying, and you knew certain things about me. You're always going to be a straight shooter. That's never going to change about you.
I was going to say, give the people an example.
How you deliver the information has changed. You've become a lot more gracious. Your style has become softer when it needs to be, tough when it needs to be. So you've determined, but you're always going to shoot straight.
Right.
You're not going to be that guy that, dances around the truth.
Yeah.
It used to drive me insane. Sometimes it still does. But it has also tremendously been beneficial.
But on the other side of things, right, I have also had to take a lot of, learn a lot from you and glean a lot from your feedback and, constructive criticism to think about how I can still be me and communicate a lot of truth, but do it in a more gracious way. Yeah. Which is not easy for me because I'm a straight shooter. And a lot of times, even in my text messages, people will text me these long, elaborate text messages, and I'll get straight to the point, and people think that I'm either my tone never comes across the way I want it to, in messaging and in life. So, I jokingly told somebody I'm just gonna start voice memoing, but honestly, I've also learned that I do need to change my approach. So while some of it hasn't changed, there has been a little bit of growth. And so, but the reality is that we as human beings typically don't change that drastically.
Don't marry someone based on potential. Save your soul. Save your heartache.
Save your heartache.
And that brings me
who you marry today is who you're going to be married to tomorrow.
Yes. And like he said, in the hopes, people do change and grow, but don't be romantic to the point of seeing something that's just not there.
Right.
The next thing that I read about was don't think you can fix them, because we
this
to
is
take
a good
on
one.
A project. I know as women, a lot of women like to, and maybe some guys like to as well. We like to take on projects, but the thing is, people aren't projects. As I quote from my own post, "Oh, you are not Bob the Builder. You have graduated from school. You have completed the projects in school. And so we don't need to take on a project thinking," because I also think that many times we can be like, I am the girl that can tame the guy. There's always, my favorite show is Gilmore Girls. And whenever I watch a TV show, I'm always rooting for the bad boy. Any guy that's a bad boy in the show, I'm like, yeah. Because my romantic self thinks this boy will change under the hand of love from the main character, who is going to transform them through love. And the reality of the matter is, you really don't want to go into a relationship thinking you can fix somebody and change who they are and try to take on a project. Yeah.
And that's a good point, because I think it goes both ways. So it's not just the girl fixing the guy. It's also could be the guy fixing the girl. From the guy that needed the fixing or could use some fixing, I would say I don't like the feeling of somebody looking at me like a project to fix and treating me that way. And so
you think I've ever treated you like a project to fix?
Woo! Not falling for that trap. No, I'm kidding. No, I think in maybe earlier on in our years, in our years of dating and even early on in our marriage, but there was a lot of me that needed fixing, but you couldn't do it, and that's you have to also understand that it's not your job to fix me. Right? And I don't want to feel like you're my mechanic, my emotional, mental, and spiritual mechanic. That's just there, just tinkering away with my life, thinking that you can solve all my problems. And it's like, bro, that's not your job.
We're married, our experience tells you that you can't fix somebody.
Yeah.
You really can't try to go in.
There's I know my phone's going off. I'm sorry, but yeah. So life of Vassar. Yeah, so you don't want to that's not your role to take. That's not your responsibility. And quite frankly, it's not within your power.
Yeah.
Um, any fixing that can be done, number one, has to be desired by that person, right? That person has to want to change and grow. And I just had a conversation with somebody not too long ago, you know, where people have to want to deal with their stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what needs to be dealt with in their life, whether that's trauma, whether that's maturity growth, whatever the case may be. So, but don't settle with people that need some heavy work.
Yeah. And especially, it's not that you're looking to go into a relationship with a person that's perfect.
No,
But
not at
the
all.
problem, like I said, is when you go in thinking that you're a bit of a fixer-upper, right? Like that Disney song.
You're a bit of a fixer-upper.
Yeah, but the reality of the matter is, like I said, people aren't projects.
Yeah. And people don't like feeling like projects.
They don't like to feel like projects. So recognize that really what you can do is surrender someone to the work of the Lord and the Holy Spirit.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, they might not change.
Yeah.
And they might not, but it's not our job to do that work in a person.
Yeah.
The next thing, why don't you tell me?
Is don't settle for less than God's best.
Yeah.
Come on, somebody.
Yeah.
Don't settle for less than God's best. I have seen so many people, and look, I'm not trying to diminish feelings of loneliness.
No.
I'm not trying to diminish feelings of wanting to not only to be loved, but to love. I recognize that we're coming from a place of having been married for 16 years and we've been together for a very long time. But we also have seen with our own eyes the value in others who have waited, who have decided, I will not settle for the first guy or girl that comes my way simply because I'm dying to be in a relationship.
Yeah. And I think what I especially respect is I actually have a lot of friends who just won't settle. They have refused to settle for someone in their lifetime. And for some of them, it's resulted in being single. But I don't see them living a life that is half full. I don't see them living a life that is half complete. I see them living a life that is full, that is thriving. They're successful in their careers. They're deep in their relationship with the Lord.
Deep in their relationship with others.
And they have tremendous joy.
Yeah.
I think so many times married folk and maybe the world can communicate this idea that single people are people that need fixing, or they're not complete, or that they're this and they're that and it's like
if we can just get you married, everything would be so much better for
and
you.
at the end of the day, I actually know single people that are happier than some of the married people that I know.
Come on.
Because the married people have got some work to do,
Let
or the married people fell into the don't list. And the single people were like, yeah, nah, I would rather be single, fulfilling my purpose in the Lord, and happy and full of joy, than settle and be miserable.
Yeah.
But have a partner.
Yeah.
All that to say, I have someone, but you're miserable.
Because here's the thing. Marriage
should make you
could be the best. Marriage will refine you. It will sanctify you. It will change you. It will kill you. And what I mean by that is like your flesh, your ego, your pride, because you are going to have to die to yourself. But marriage could also be the best thing in your life if you do not settle for anything but God's best. Because when it comes to this aspect, I truly believe that like the Lord wants you to have the most healthiest, beautiful, thriving relationship that you could have.
But can we also acknowledge that marriage isn't in the cards for everybody?
Nope.
I think too, as Christians and like church culture, I've been guilty of that too. Like we have placed this like it's like the end all be all.
Yeah.
Like, but the Bible also talks a lot about singleness,
and it actually
we really. And I'm not gonna. We're not the platform for us to even.
No.
Yeah. We're not single people. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, it's better to live a life
fulfilled in God, single, than to be in a relationship
with some busted up
with a project that ain't going nowhere
And miserable, because again,
and miserable.
we also have experienced many, many miserable people
Mm-hmm.
that are married, but they really shouldn't have gotten married, or they're not happy because they went into it for different reasons, or whatever the case may be.
But I will say that is not a disclaimer for people to just walk away from their marriage either.
Nope. But the point in this particular thing
Mm-hmm.
is don't settle.
Yeah.
It's better to wait for what is God's best for my life. Now, I didn't say a perfect, like, 700, list, because I think, But anyway, the point is settle for nothing less than what the Lord
I think
has
that's
for
good
you.
to talk about, though. I
Well,
think
I'm
I
not
think
gonna
it's good to talk about also to be realistic with like your expectations.
Have standards.
Yeah.
I feel like you can be really specific with the Lord, though, because there were things that I asked the Lord for that would have been silly to other people, but He answered for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted somebody that could sing. I prayed for somebody that could dance. I wanted someone that could be funny. Now, I didn't pray for a bald-headed man.
Wow.
I never wanted to.
Shots fired.
I still love him. But I think it's okay to be specific. But I also think that, be flexible with what the Lord might have for you. That could be a little bit different.
I'm going to get a shirt that says bald, bearded, and beautiful.
Well, I always... Okay, let's move on. So, something else...
I like this episode. This one's fun.
Something else. My next don't,
Mm-hmm.
before we get into the do's, is don't rush a relationship.
Come on.
I just think that it's okay. Like, I think I'm of the mindset that time won't hurt something that's healthy.
Actually, studies show that chances of having a successful marriage grows significantly when you've been in a relationship for longer than 2 years.
See, the problem with that is that I think it changes when you get older in a way.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I don't know that if I was like 38 and I really found someone that I loved and we were like...
I'm just telling you what studies show.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
But
it makes sense because you really
think,
want to know the person.
Yeah. No.
Especially in Christian marriage, we don't move in together before.
The reason why I say that is it's a very nuanced thing to say, because I also believe you've got to be careful to balance between setting yourself up for success and then kind of setting yourself up for failure. And what I mean by that is, like, when you have too long of a relationship, the longer you go in a relationship, the more intimacy you build. And I don't mean sexual intimacy. I mean like intimacy where you're loving and you're desiring to be with somebody. And the more intimacy that builds up, the more close you want to be, if you know what I'm talking about, right? But at the same time, you don't want to rush through a relationship where you don't know what this person believes. You don't know what their financial disciplines are. You don't know where the political values are.
That's one of the things.
You don't give yourself enough time to have the difficult questions and learn a person's habits, behavior, characteristics, and way of being. And you rush into it, and then you're like sucker punched in the gut when you get married.
I also think, like, when we start talking about some of the do's, which we'll talk about what it means to have godly counsel, what it means to ask hard questions, what it means to look at someone's fruit. What you'll see is that time gives you the chance to look at those things that are critical and crucial to a thriving relationship.
Mm-hmm.
In my thought pattern, I don't think adding a little bit of time to something will ever hurt what is healthy and what is of the Lord.
Yeah.
In wisdom's point. You know what I mean? So I know people who have gotten married quickly and who have had a beautiful, thriving, incredible marriage. And the Lord has been in it. And I know people who have waited, longer. But what I'm talking about is people who are rushing into something. There are flags. There are stop signs.
Yeah.
There may even be godly counsel saying, hold up a second. And they're all systems a go.
Yeah.
Really, really trying to just make this happen. And I think that there is such a beauty when you are in the dating stages that you don't want to skip out on. Like, I will say, engagement process and dating and all of that, that is actually a really special time
Yeah.
to enjoy and not to rush through. Even
Mhm.
like when we first got married, we waited 3 years to have kids. There were things that we wanted to really explore in our relationship and enjoy and learn
Mhm.
about each other. And I think that that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I think if something is really from from God, like I said, I don't think you have to force it. I think you can follow the rhythms of life, but you don't need to put a rush order
Yeah.
on something either. I think it's okay to take your time with getting to know someone and take your time with pacing. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
And again, I understand, like, as we get older, I think too, there's stories that I've read that are great testimonies of people where it was like, it was shorter time.
Yeah.
They knew they had waited a really long time. The values aligned.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm talking about is people specifically speed rushing in
Yeah.
with all of the things that are saying, "Hey, wait a minute, hold on,"
Yeah.
because you need to take time to do the
Mhm.
things that we're going to go into with the do's.
Yeah.
That takes time to see
Yeah.
someone's fruit.
I
That
think in the
takes time.
context of what you're talking about with being older too, I think there's a level of maturity in maybe being an older in the older
You have more wisdom. I get
demographic.
what
You
you're
have
saying.
more
Yeah,
wisdom,
that's
you
true.
have
That
more
makes
maturity, you
yeah.
know yourself a lot more. You know what you're looking for, you know what you're not looking for, you know what you're willing to compromise on, you know what you're
Yes.
not
I
willing
think
to
some of that comes
compromise
with the
on.
wisdom. Yeah.
So a lot of that comes into play. But what we're specifically just trying to encourage people to do is to not to rush into forcing a relationship and a marriage work.
Where especially time will benefit
Yeah.
out time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if that's advice that I could give to people sometimes when I see that there's like this frenetic, like, let's go, 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 is like,
Mhm.
hey, wait, just give it some time. Like,
Right.
explore getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of beauty in the beginning stages of a relationship that you don't want to skip over. And
Right.
again, like, you can't really know the fruit. You can't really get into those
What's
conversations.
her
if you're on
favorite
a rush
color?
order.
What makes her get up in the morning and
Yeah.
like enjoy life? What
Yes.
what makes her feel like she's got purpose?
Yeah.
You know, like getting to know each other and really getting to know what you're about, and also allowing things like, you know, for people to grow, like in maturity, emotionally, mentally, you know. And it's not to say that they may just very well be the person for
Yeah.
you,
And every
but it
story's different.
might be,
Every story's different.
if you're not careful, you could have the right thing at the wrong time,
Yes.
you know.
Nailed
And
it.
that could be
Nailed it.
just as detrimental as having the wrong thing,
100%.
you know.
Now I want to get into the do's. So
Dude.
these are some of the things that I would recommend. And the first one is to surround yourself with godly counsel.
Yes. Oh man, do you want to go on this one first, or you want me to?
Tell me why you think premarital counseling is crucial.
Bruh. Premarital
Or
counseling.
just share whatever's on your heart.
Yeah, let's just go, because the premarital counseling helps, but it goes beyond that, because premarital counseling, depending on who you have
Also,
do it.
I've already decided to get married.
Yeah, I've already decided to get married, but like even in your dating relationship, having wisdom and godly counsel that can look from the outside in without having the rose-colored glasses and not having the blindness of infatuation to step in and be like, "Hey, Natalie and Jose, like, as I've been watching you guys and seeing you guys interact, seeing how you handle difficult conversations, I think there's some areas that you could grow in."
Yes. I actually think you should seek out people. You should ask people. And one of the things I wrote was have the courage to listen to the honest truth.
Yes.
Genuinely ask people who are unbiased, who have no stake in the game, or who love you but can still speak truth to you and say, hey, what are your thoughts on this relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me feedback? Like, what do you think our strengths are, our weaknesses? Like, I wish more people would do that. I wish more people would even ask us that are in relationships.
And I think you could have that on all sides, right? So I think that you could have, like, if even just a single person who like sees how you interact as a couple around other
Yes.
single people, a mature couple who's maybe a little more advanced than you, and who has been in this game for quite a bit,
Yes, this is
who
so
could
good.
help you avoid some of the pitfalls that they've experienced, right? Like your pastors, your like mentors in your life that aren't there to blow smoke up your little
Can I just
relational
say-
butt.
I just want to say, I wish more people would actually do this.
Yeah.
Because what happens with us is we usually get people when they're in crisis already,
Mm-hmm.
which again, that is our role as pastors. And
Yeah.
so that's no shade. We want to see you thrive. But I genuinely wish people would actually ask us before they even got married
Yeah.
or while they were in the dating stages, what is your feedback on my relationship? Because
Yeah.
we got thoughts.
Yeah.
99% of the time, we
We
got
got
thoughts.
thoughts.
And in our personal relationships with people, that if we're a friend to you, 99% you've heard our thoughts, but we also respect people. But I do think that I wish people would ask more because you would actually get such insight
Yeah.
and true feedback on like, hey, this relationship is great.
Yeah.
Or hey, I see these little patterns. And even like what Jose said, if you have single friends, I can tell you, like talking to my single friends, they are fabulous observers of relationships. They are keen observers.
Yeah.
And they will say like, oh dang, like here's what I noticed.
Yeah.
Or like we've even received like a good friend gave me a compliment and she was like, you're one of the few like married people that actually seek relationship with single people and like make us feel like included and
Part of the
valued for
club.
who I am.
Yeah.
And so I also think like don't discount what Jose said. Your friends. Don't discount godly counsel from your pastors, from people that are around you, your family members, your parents. Like get thoughts on your relationship.
And don't surround yourself with people who will just tell you what you want to hear.
Because that's not good.
That's not good. You need people in your life
Who will
that'll
speak the
be
truth
like,
in
yo,
love.
this looks unhealthy. This looks a little bit toxic. You know, you got to lay your ego aside. You know, like really and they're doing it not because they want to destroy your relationship, but develop it in a way that would be fruitful, not just for you, not just for the other person, but for each other as a unit.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing. Why don't you take the next one?
Do examine the fruit. Come on, somebody. I'm going to step in as the pastor right now. Jesus said, you will know them by their fruits. A mango tree does not bear the fruit of the orange. And an orange tree does not bear apples.
Yeah.
The evidence is in the pudding. It's all there. What you see, or it's not there. But what you see or do not see is what you will get. Okay? Stop trying to paint apples into oranges. Stop trying to make fetch. Do people say that anymore?
That's Mean Girls. Only if you're a real one do you know.
Stop. Oh my God. We're exposing our age. But seriously, okay? Stop looking for things that aren't there. And also, stop pretending that things are there that are not there. Okay? Oh man, this is just... I'm trying to be nice on this one. I don't want to be too mean. But far too long and far too many times and far too many conversations in, people are just not looking at the fruit that is very evident in people's lives.
So, like, if you're dating a person and they're exhibiting fruits of anger, they're angry all of the time. They treat people rudely at a restaurant, wait staff. They're cussing out people. They're exhibiting, like, don't turn your eye to those things. Those things are all elements of a person's character.
Elements.
On a positive note, like, if somebody is demonstrating the fruits of kindness and love, and you can see that exuding from them, not just at church where it's easy for people to put on and to play the game, but how are you acting in everyday life? I always like to look at how are you treating a person at a restaurant.
Come on.
Because I've gone out with people.
How well do they tip?
How well, like, you're looking at things like, who are you?
How do they treat their friends?
How do they treat their friends?
What do their friends have to say about them?
How do they talk about other people?
How do they treat their family, their parents, their siblings?
Live generously.
Do they live
Stingy.
generously? Right? Like, do they have a short fuse? You know, can they be humble?
Yeah.
Like,
Looking at a person's actions versus their words. Anyone can tell you anything. I've had the chance of hearing many stories and like funny, not funny, but it's just like the dating world from what I've gathered can be
listen,
terrible and wonderful.
I am so glad we've been
But I
together
think-
since we were 16.
I know, but
Couldn't
I
do it in
feel
today's
my
age.
heart goes out to like
Yeah,
the peeps because like they be really out here spinning
it's
stuff.
out here. It's
Out here
hard out
spinning
there in the
stuff,
streets
like-
for y'all.
But the thing is, no, it's hard because people are terrible.
Yeah.
They're actually horrible
Yeah.
because they can tell a story.
Mhm.
We've come across a generation of storytellers who have little fruit or action to back up the stories that they
Come
tell.
on,
And so they're putting on a show.
you're on fire
Well-
today, girl.
Well, the thing is, it's a subject I'm passionate about because the fact of the matter is like, if the fruit isn't there,
Mhm.
it's not there.
Yeah.
So do not proceed.
Right.
Do not proceed.
But if the fruit is there, don't ignore it. On either way.
Yeah.
Don't ignore the bad fruit. Don't ignore the good fruit. Acknowledge it, see it, record it, observe it, and like
Yeah.
see it for what it is.
What fruit did you notice in me, like in our early dating years?
Oh, you were so cute. No.
What do you mean no? What were the things you noticed that you could tell, like?
I mean, you're the same things that you still are today. You're one of the most incredible friends that I know. Not just like you have, not only do you have incredibly fruitful and thriving friendships, but you are an incredibly, I could say it as your husband who observes how you handle your relationships and friendships. You're an incredible friend. You're extremely loyal. You're an incredibly good listener. You are incredibly trustworthy. You are dependable. You are
Oh dang.
you are a strength of a pillar that many people can lean on. And so those are things
But you noticed that even at a young age.
even at a young age,
Wow.
still today. And you still and even that you're because of the fact that you are an incredibly consistent and constant person, that's what has allowed you to, throughout the years, 16 years of marriage, God, what, 22 years of knowing each other and being together, basically, like you're still doing that today.
That's really sweet.
You like how I came up with
Really
that? Was
sweet.
listen, that's not scripted, y'all. That's how I feel about my boo
I'm
boo.
glowing. I'm like literally.
By the way, you look incredible today.
Wow. Thank
Yeah,
you.
your hair's looking on point, girl.
I appreciate that. Curly girls, we so appreciate a good curl day. They come like once every like.
I'll show you how much
2
I
weeks.
appreciate it. Anyways, moving on. Okay, let me stop flirting with my wife so we can finish this podcast. All right.
The last deal, before we get into some final concluding thoughts, is to have the hard conversations.
Yes,
Have the
do have the
Jose
hard
touched on it a little bit
conversations.
earlier. When you're really getting to know somebody, there are questions you need to be asking them that are important questions
Yeah.
when it comes to who am I going to marry.
Yeah.
Like, you want to get to know them on a personal level, but you also want to know, like, what is it that you believe?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is it that you believe? What is it that how do you handle your finances?
Yeah.
How do you
And-
picture raising children? I'm not saying this is like you're in a relationship towards marriage.
Yeah.
I'm not saying first date questions.
Yeah.
I'm saying like you're in a relationship towards marriage.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I will, like, adding to that, what do you believe kind of ties into to how you live, right? So because what you believe determines how you live. It influences how you live. So don't just take what they believe and take their word for it. Examine, like, go back and remember, examine the fruit,
Yeah.
right? But do have the hard conversations. I will say, what we mean by hard conversations is not argumentative conversations or corrective conversations. Like, these aren't just conversations of like, this is what I like or don't like about the person, and this is what I think you need to change, and this is, but like, we're not just talking. Those are good conversations.
talking
We're
about
talking
asking
specifically about asking
The hard questions.
the hard questions and going and doing the deep work of building a relationship and going below
But I
surface
also
level.
think that these questions will reveal where the relationship needs to go.
Yeah.
Because if I ask you, how do you think we should raise our kids?
Mm-hmm.
And you give me an answer that I'm like, I don't really see myself raising my kids that way. Like if you're like, oh, I'm very strict on like, I'm very authoritarian to the point of like, I discipline them by this and do, you know, I would be like, I'm not that person. Like if there's things that I don't agree with before married, and these are fundamental things, that is my opportunity to dig deeper and explore. It is also my opportunity to decide, can I proceed forward?
Right.
There are questions that are deal breaker questions, in my opinion. For me, one of those questions is about faith. What do you believe in?
Right.
Do you believe in Jesus? Are you a Christian? Not only are you a Christian, but like, do you have deep roots in the faith?
Yeah.
Those are important things to me. If your answer is no, then guess what?
Yeah.
Bye. Like, I'm not even on a date with you at that point.
Right.
But there are also questions like, how do you decompress?
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel about X, Y, and Z?
How do you handle conflict?
How do you handle conflict? What's your take on like alcohol? Do you drink? Do you like picture? What do you picture in our relationship? How do you?
What do you believe politically?
What do you believe politically?
Right.
And again, those things, Jose and I are not the same on our politics. We're the same on the key points in politics that matter. We aren't the same.
Yeah.
In different ways, and that's okay. But where it matters, if he came back to me fundamentally and said, I am strongly this on an issue that I was like, yeah, no, those are big questions.
We're married now. You ain't going nowhere, boo boo.
I'm
just kidding.
But the point is, before you get married,
this is why you
explore these questions that are important, and you have to decide: is this a deal breaker?
Yeah.
Is this something that I am being asked to compromise on because I want to be in a relationship with them, but my values don't really line up to that?
Yeah.
You know, or is this something where, you know, it's helping me to, I don't know, like if there's things that I have strong opinions on. So let me give an example. I'm going to do this right live on air.
Ooh.
So let's say that I ask Jose this question.
I don't know if I'm prepared.
Jose, it's a chill question. It's nothing like crazy topic. But let's say, so we're on a first date. Let's say it's not the first date. We've been dating for a few months. It's heading towards marriage. And I'm like, Jose, what are your expectations? Do you have any gender expectations for me when we go into a marriage? Or do you have any just roles in mind that you expect me to play going into a marriage?
You're asking me?
That's a question. Yeah, what would you say to that?
I would say yes. If I am... This is going to be so controversial. You're going to get me in trouble.
No, but I don't feel like you are that guy. That's why I'm asking you the question. You didn't have those.
No, I didn't have much expectations other than like, yeah, if like we're going to constantly work together at everything, I think. So like,
do you think that like
if I'm working most of the day and you're off, then that means I would hope that, yeah, you would take care of the house, take care of the kids, blah, blah. However, if the roles are reversed and you're working a lot during the day, right? You're working, I'm off. That means I'm taking more of that load, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But if you came into that and said, well, I expect you to do X, Y, and Z because you're a woman, you answered it right. You said we're a partnership. So
okay.
I expect you.
I was nervous. I'm like,
because I feel like you're scared.
I want to make sure I don't say the wrong thing.
No, you actually answered. What I'm saying is,
I answered it right for you.
You answered it right for me. Let's say that
Yeah.
I'm on a date with him, and Jose tells me, "Well, I expect every day at 6:00 I need to have a 3-course dinner. I need the house clean at this point every day at this time."
How do I get
wrong
that?
girl.
How do I
Wrong
get that?
girl. I'm the wrong girl for the job. Not gonna happen. Like, and that's okay.
And listen, so let me just say also really quick that like, if that is your line of thinking,
that's okay. But
if
what I'm
that's your
saying,
belief, that's okay.
But it wouldn't work.
But it would like that wouldn't work for Natalie, right? And to be honest with you, I don't care. Like there's certain things that I'm just like, I wish this would happen, but
like what?
No, we're not going there.
No, I wouldn't know. Like what?
We're not going there.
But what I'm saying, the point I'm trying to make is,
all right. You want to flesh this out? It's not like we don't need to. It's not gonna make us fight or anything. But like, we've talked about this, right? Like, do I like Natalie? And you would self admit this. You just said it, right? Like, I'm not that girl. She's not that girl that's gonna cook and clean every day. No. She's not like she is a working woman.
I work.
She
have a
works. She
full-time
has a
job.
full-time job as a teacher. I'm a full-time pastor. And so even like our lifestyle is different, right? Because as a full-time pastor, my schedule is more flexible. However, would it be like sometimes do I desire to come home and after you've worked a long day or I've worked a long day, sometimes it's like who's gonna take the brunt of cooking dinner? You know what I mean? One of us has to do it, right? And so does like sometimes would I wish that certain things would be certain ways?
Wait, what are you saying?
Oh my gosh. We've talked about this and you self-admitted it.
No.
We're not.
No, the point I'm trying to make
Uh-huh.
in all of this is that if you would have told me that we needed to have traditional roles, I wouldn't have
Right.
married you.
Okay, that's the point, right? But you said like
But are you saying you want traditional?
no, I'm saying that like are there for me personally, you're saying that like if I came at you with that, right?
Yeah.
You're like
So
I'm
no.
done, right?
Well, I would say going if one
If
of the
we-
things we talked about prior to getting married, I actually told you I will never. I hate cooking. I don't
Right.
even know how to cook. I'm never gonna
Right.
do it. I was like, I'm
Right.
not gonna be X, Y, and Z. But
Right.
I've actually had to adapt and change over the years to do the things that I don't
Right.
want to do because I love you guys.
Right.
I
So
still hate cooking.
so they're still right. So they're and for me, it's not what I'm trying to communicate is that on either side of the spectrum, it was never really like if you want to be the Susie homemaker at home, great, awesome. The realistic aspect of that is that that's not who you are.
No.
So then I as a person have become accustomed to accepting and acknowledging right or wrong that's what you that's just not a part of the table. But the reason why we're talking about it is because you as an individual
Have to
can then
determine
have that
what your deal
conversation
breakers are.
and determine what your deal breakers are. And if that's a deal breaker, then
marry the person.
don't marry the person because again, that I knew that about Natalie going in. So like
He didn't
I
have
can't
false
go into it.
expectations of
I
him.
can't go into it thinking, well, I thought she would cook and clean and do all this
Oh, wait,
stuff.
Can I elaborate? Because I feel like I don't want to be seen as like this lazy person. that
No,
doesn't do
guys,
anything.
I will elaborate for her. She is incredibly hardworking. She is not a lazy person. She's an incredible mother, incredible wife.
No,
she
I don't
takes
wanna
care
just
of a
say
lot
that.
in the house.
The point is, I do things that I don't like to do because of love.
Yeah,
Today, I made homemade pizza for my kids after church. I didn't feel like doing that.
right.
Tonight, I'm making pasta. I don't feel like doing that. I cook. I clean. It's never going to be my forte. It takes me a lot. Maybe I have ADHD too. That's part of I feel like that's half the battle.
Squirrel.
I can't focus enough to like what will take Jose 30 minutes
30
will
minutes.
legitimately take me 3 hours. And
Right.
it's me trying at my hardest extent.
The point is we had that conversation before getting married and we were able to decide, you know what? We can work with this.
And we weren't coming into marriage with false expectations.
And we weren't coming
That's
in with
my whole
false
point.
expectations.
And all of that, the whole point is have hard conversations. Don't come into marriage with false expectations because then you'll be disappointed.
Yeah.
If he came in expecting me to be the Pinterest girly, he would have been absolutely disappointed.
Even though she
If
communicated that she's
I expected
not.
him
Yeah.
to be Mr. Handy, Mr. Bob the Builder, actually, I would have been sorely disappointed because.
Hold up.
Wait. I'm gonna explain. When we first got married.
Please do.
When we first got married,
Uh-huh.
Jose now is to the point where he has renovated our bathroom. He's done the floors. He can.
Okay.
I'm confident that
Please
he can
elaborate
actually
because
do.
your boy throws down with a hammer. Just saying.
But now he does. In the beginning, he couldn't, and he had to learn. And
Not us.
You thought you were gonna put me out there about
Not
not perfect, and I was gonna try to throw a little thing your way. Don't play
Oh
with
my
me.
gosh. Lots of laughs along the way, people. Lots of laughs. Did we just have an argument in a very healthy way in front of you all?
I don't even think,
Absolutely.
I don't
No,
even
I'm
think it was
kidding.
an argument. I think it's funny because one of the points is to respond to one of the ask a live question and be vulnerable, which we absolutely just demonstrated that to you. 'Cause this is not a scripted. We have an outline.
This is
All
not a
is
scripted
unscripted.
show
'Cause
at
I
all.
was looking at him like,
Yeah.
I'm
Wait a
trying to
minute.
get on that. Okay, well, you weren't Mr. Bob the Builder from the jump. How about that?
Oh, man. This is
Point
great.
of the matter. Ask questions, just like we
Ask
did.
questions.
That would have been like
Have-
a real date night situation. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, well, what are your expectations? What?
Yeah.
And the point is, like, you really do want to know because they sound silly, but those are big things.
And
that could affect the whole culture
and
of your
I
marriage.
will honestly say that I think when we did have this conversation, we laughed just as hard when we had it as we just did now.
Because
Because
what happened too. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
the first week of our marriage, like several weeks leading up to our marriage, I was very in my era of like, I will not be conformed to a gender role. And it's me. Like, I've
Yeah.
also been around a lot of strong women in my life that are hardworking women that didn't conform into like whatever. And this isn't shade towards women that do all of those things. Because honestly, low key, I kind of want to be like you.
Yeah.
Like, honest to God, I do. So I went in and I'm like, I will not be doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this. Literally, day one of getting back from our honeymoon, I'm at home calling my mom. Mommy, how do you make Spanish rice and steak? I promise you, I remember writing down every single instruction she gave me, and I learned all of her recipes because it's funny what I didn't do. I was like, you know what? So we kind of have to eat. He's working longer than I am at the moment,
and at the time, our lifestyle was different, right? So I was working full time as an assistant store manager. You weren't working.
Yeah,
now
I would
we're
say that I cook most of the time now. I actually really miss your cooking desperately. Like, there's several meals.
But when the school starts
then
and you're
you'll pick it
working
up.
more than we ebb and flow with the
I can
life,
bake, but he
right?
can't cook.
So it's when we're in a busy season and you're working, I take the
Tag.
brunt.
This week, Tag, he's in again.
Come on,
I'm going back to
because
work.
she's going back to
and I'm
work.
excited because he actually cooks food better than I do. There's several meals that I am really excited for you to cook.
Yeah.
I actually truly enjoy baking.
Yeah.
And I was baking my heart out this summer. So, and I will say, I want to compliment him. He said a lot of nice things about me. One of the things I really appreciate, I know, but I just want to say, is that I do appreciate and feel that our marriage is a true partnership.
Mm-hmm.
Genuinely. Like, this man has no shame in the best way. What I mean by that is he's not too good to do anything that benefits or helps our family. He's not going to be like, well, I'm a man, so I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z. He will do everything and above. And honestly, 99% of the time, he does it better than me and faster than me and more efficiently than I do.
Thanks, babe.
And so I will say that I'm grateful that because we asked a lot of the hard questions and we have explored those, whether it was like arguing through them, whether it was coming to an agreement, we came to a place where we said, you know what? I can marry you. Like, we're on the same page about the things that matter the most. And I do appreciate the fact that our marriage has always felt like a partnership. A lot of women talk about how they feel, especially in ministry, like they don't feel as respected because they're women. They don't feel X, Y, and Z. You have always been my number one advocate and supporter. You have always encouraged me. I have never experienced feeling less than to you ever because of my gender or anything like that. And so I appreciate you. And it was really hysterical. This whole I was like, is this happening?
The point is this: learn to have difficult. I would say learn to have difficult conversations, and they don't have to be something that destroys the relationship. They can be something that you laugh about, and you then have an ability to be able to go into a marriage and a relationship with full awareness, and you are not in the blind about what your significant other believes, doesn't believe, lives, character, none of that stuff.
So this takes us to a few big picture reminders for you to just keep in mind when it comes to marriage. And one of the things is that marriage isn't an eraser, it is a magnifier.
Yes.
So marriage doesn't erase the issues that are previously in the relationship. Sometimes people treat marriage like a Band-Aid, fix it, to something that's jacked up, and they think that adding the weight of marriage will somehow make that broken and screwed up relationship better.
And it only enhances
marriage
it.
Magnifies all of your flaws to the fullest powers. It magnifies the beautiful things in you, but it also magnifies the ugly parts of you because there's nowhere to run and hide.
Yeah.
Think about it. When you're a single person and you're not like living with someone, you can kind of like compartmentalize, or you can put on what you want people to see. When you're married, there's none of that. There's nowhere to hide. Like, even in your ugliest days, your spouse is there. On your best days, it magnifies what is great in you and what is not great in you. And it also is a mirror on what needs to be fixed
Yeah.
and what needs to be corrected.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about the second point?
Yeah. The second point is the marriage is more important than the wedding. Oh my gosh. If we'd only invest as much effort, time, resources, energy, and intentionality in the actual lifetime of the marriage and the relationship rather than just the wedding day event.
Because I see a lot of people obsess over the wedding,
Yeah.
but the energy is not met on
Yeah.
the obsessing over the
Yeah.
marriage and the health of
Right.
the marriage.
The ceremony is over in just a few hours. The
It's a
marriage,
special day, but it is a day
yeah, the marriage continues,
for a lifetime.
God willing, and so long as both people put in the work that they're supposed to for a lifetime. And so that is way more important than, having an incredible wedding day. There's so many couples that had a beautiful wedding ceremony, and unfortunately they ended up not making it.
Yeah, and I think as a society, there's also this pressure. You know, we live now in a digital media age, so a lot of things that people are doing, we get influenced online, whatever the case may be. But I would love to see us place more of an emphasis on the health of the marriage and the future of the relationship.
Yeah.
Rather than just all of our energy into this day, no matter what the cost, and then we're not also putting that same energy into the relationship. Have a gorgeous, beautiful, stunning wedding. Have the wedding of your dreams.
Yeah.
But also have a gorgeous, beautiful, stunning marriage.
Yeah.
By pouring in all of the resources, the energy, the passion, the zeal, the excitement that comes with wedding planning into a relationship, because it is supposed to be for a lifetime. And we want that for you. And so, lastly, what do people always ask us about that we tell them?
Lastly, but most importantly, it will always or should always include Jesus at the center of it all.
Yeah. We always tell people, there is no magical fairy dust on this relationship. What
None.
is on this relationship is Jesus being the foundation of our marriage. When Jesus is the foundation, just what you preached about today.
Yeah.
It is immovable, unshakable, and it doesn't matter when life comes your way, when sicknesses come your way, when family drama comes your way, when all kinds of things swirl around you. That relationship is founded on Jesus, and so I'm not moving from it. You're not moving from it. And he is the one that has kept us over the years and has been the secret. It's not that we don't face the same issues, the same problems, the same getting on your nerves, the same feelings that can come of apathy, like things that can come, especially the longer you're married. Those little things try to sneak in. But when you go back to Jesus and recognize, because I love Jesus, I love you, I love Jesus, I want this to work, I'm not moving from this relationship.
Right. No, I agree.
And so that was my last thought.
Yep. Jesus has to be the center. And that first starts off individually before it continues
two whole people in Jesus
as a unit.
will make a whole
Yes,
marriage.
that's right. Two whole people in Christ will make a whole marriage in Christ.
Yep.
And so don't underestimate, not even underestimate, like include, Jesus has to be at the center of your marriage. Your marriage has to be built on the life, teachings, ministry, and every word of truth that comes out of the mouth of Jesus and his word.
All right, final thought. What would you say is your favorite part about being married?
I've got too many. My favorite part of being married is I genuinely feel that you are my best friend. You are my favorite aspect of life. Like,
what's something really fun?
Fun?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. We laugh about everything.
But what do you say? What do you say is like something really fun that people can look forward to in a healthy marriage that you enjoy?
Healthy marriage. For us personally, I would say the silliness. Like, we laugh a lot about a lot of things, and they could be like really stupid, minute things. Just being able to be, like you always say, I wish people could see you the way that I get to see you, but I get to feel like my favorite part of our marriage, or just marriage in general, is how safe I feel with you. Period. Like, you get to see all of me, every aspect of me, the silliness, the seriousness. But you get to see the softness in me, and I enjoy being able to share that together, like vice versa. So that would be my favorite aspect of marriage.
Do I have to answer it?
You made me answer it.
My favorite aspect of marriage is just having someone that you can always talk to and share like your most real. Like, I feel like, I love to call you all the time.
You do.
You know this about me.
You do.
But I like to call you to really tell you about everything and anything that happens to me. And I feel like I enjoy that part of just being able to call you, to talk to you, to like, it feels like, it just feels fun.
Yeah.
To be having these little conversations over big things, but also silly things.
And I think that's the whole point of this, is like, marriage doesn't have to be this dreadful thing that society and even culture has kind of made it out to be. Yeah. But it can be so beautiful and so fun and so nourishing. You know what I mean?
It can refine you.
Yeah.
In all the best ways.
Yeah.
So the point that we want to make with all of this is just, to give you some little tips before you get married of things to keep in mind.
So that you don't go into marriage unprepared and go in prepared.
It's for a lifetime. And so you want to choose wisely, and you want to make sure that you're going in with wisdom and with the tools and the counsel. And if, one of the things that I was really big on before I got married, and I'm big on just in every area of my life, is I'm a reader. I love to read about everything. During my single era, I read 1 million books on singleness. During my dating era, I read 1 million books on dating. When we broke up, I read a bunch of books on breaking up. Literally, one of the titles of the book I read was "When the One Turns Out to Be Just Someone." Thank God he turned out to be the one again. But what I want to tell you is,
Lord Jesus,
that if you feel like you don't know something or you're unaware, you're like, I want marriage in the future.
Yeah.
I want to be prepared. Like, see what God says about it in the Bible, because there's a manual of guidance and tools in there. Also, feed yourself with godly resources. I loved listening to podcasts. I still do.
Yeah.
I loved reading. You can look behind here. 90% of the time, if you tell me you have a problem, I'll say I have a book for that.
Yeah.
Be a student now. You don't, like, it's beautiful to prepare yourself now. If this is something that you want in your future, then it's a beautiful thing to prepare yourself for that relationship, so that when the person comes along, you are a whole person and you are ready to pursue something beautiful.
Yeah.
And also, if you're single and you want marriage, it's okay to pray. Like, pray about it, actually. It's not just okay. I'm encouraging you. Present your prayers to the Lord. Write them down. Share with him what you desire.
Yeah.
Like, don't be afraid to hold anything back from him. If it feels silly to other people, be honest with the Lord about your heart. And, I believe that there's good things for you.
Yeah.
So, thank you for listening
Listen,
today.
if you enjoyed this content, if it blessed you in some way, shape, or form, do us a favor. Go ahead and like, comment, hit the subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and you'll get notified every time we post up a new video. Share it with a friend, a loved one, a family member that you think it would benefit. I had a lot. This was actually one of my favorite episodes. It was a lot of fun. We laughed a lot.
It was fun.
It wasn't just tears and seriousness.
It
lived, laugh, Lopez. So we laughed. But anyways, we love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting our channel. Thank you for sticking with us. And if you made it this far, we can't wait to continue this journey with you. Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Deuces.